This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Gunman killed by licensed firearm holder at Mandeville bar. A licensed firearm holder fatally shot one of two gunmen who held up a bar at Nashville in Mandeville on Thursday night. Police report that about 11:10 p.m., the two gunmen entered the bar and one of them ordered a drink. One of the gunmen then pulled a firearm and attempted to rob the bartender. The licensed firearm holder intervened and challenged the gunmen. Following the gunfight, one of the men was seen suffering from gunshot wounds. The police were alerted and he was taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The identity of the deceased has not yet been ascertained. His accomplice managed to escape. Police said a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 9 9mm rounds of ammunition was seized. Alleged robber flees leaving weapon after shootout with cops in Old Harbour. The St. Catharines South Police seized one firearm and 8 rounds of ammunition following a shooting incident in Old Harbour, St. Catharines on Thursday. Reports from the Old Harbour Police are that about 12 midday, persons visited the Old Harbour Police Station to make a report of a robbery which allegedly took place on a minibus. During the process of making the report, one of the complainants saw the alleged robber walking by the station. In a bid to capture the perpetrator, the police team reportedly approached the man who pulled a firearm from his waistband and opened fire at the cops. The fire was returned and the gunman dropped the firearm and ran. One Smith & Wesson Springfield 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 8 9mm rounds of ammunition was retrieved from the scene. The policemen escaped injuries from their attacker and no one else was injured. No arrest was made in relation to the incident. Investigation continues. Former most wanted in St. Catharines denied bail. Rudolph Boxer Shaw, once St. Catharines' most wanted man, who is now facing 2 murder charges, was denied bail when he appeared in the St. Catharines Parish Court on Friday. He is accused of murdering 59-year-old Wilfred Strait O'Connor and Clinton Wani Davis, 60, both of St. John's Road addresses in St. Catharines. His attorney, Queen's Counsel Peter Champagny, made the bail application, which the Crown argued against. Parish Court Judge Nicole Kellier later ruled that Shaw should remain in custody until his next court appearance before the Corporate Area Gun Court on September 7. Kellier told the defense that the nature of the offenses warranted the bail application made in the gun court. Champagny conceded that he would find it difficult to convince the court to consider bail at this time. It's alleged that Shaw shot and killed O'Connor on September 29, 2021. Davis reportedly witnessed the incident. Shaw allegedly murdered Davis along St. John's Road in May 2022. The police say Shaw was previously pursued in Jamaica by the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force and other police units, but managed to elude capture before leaving the island by boat. Investigators say Shaw was wanted in connection with multiple murders and several shootings in St. Catharines. Deadline extended for company deregistration. Business and companies wishing to close their operations have been given more time to do so. The company's Office of Jamaica has extended support under the COVID-19 Compliance Relief Initiative. The initiative, which was developed to assist the entities in being officially removed from the companies and business names registers, started in May 2020 and ended in March 2022. However, after several persons expressed interest, it was relaunched on August 1, 2022 and will run until January 31, 2023. Registrar of Companies and Acting Chief Executive Officer Shellyan Leon told the news that due to overwhelming demand, it was decided to extend the support for another 6 months. There are more persons out there who indicated that they did not hear about it and that they need to utilize this facility, she said. Under the initiative, the COJ will facilitate companies and businesses wishing to close by foregoing the usual document submissions and the late fees, thereby reducing costs. One of our mandates at the company's Office of Jamaica is to improve the ease of doing business for companies and businesses operating in Jamaica. There are several companies and businesses that were hit hard during the pandemic, and so these persons really need to start over with a clean slate, she explained. In fulfilling this mandate, the COJ is allowing persons to exit easily and economically so that they may come back and start afresh, she added. Leon encouraged the persons to take advantage of this final opportunity. Persons may visit the COJ website at www.orcjamaica.com for further information. Bahamas Ganja farm lands 6 Jamaican men in prison for 36 months. 6 Jamaican men on Thursday were sentenced to 2.5 years in prison in the Bahamas for the cultivation of more than 4 acres of ganja in the country. On Sunday, narcotics police reportedly arrested Leroy Douglas, Walford Reed, Jermaine Jones, Devon Simpson, Bruce Palmer, and Everton Palmer after conducting 2 days of surveillance on the farm in North Andros. The men subsequently pleaded guilty to conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with intent to supply, possession of dangerous drugs, and the cultivation of dangerous drugs in relation to the 4-acre ganja farm that reportedly had 25,000 plants and 20,000 seedlings. The ganja had a street value of US $2.5 million, police said. Magistrate Samuel McKenney handed down concurrent sentences of 2.5 years on each count to the men. Additionally, the convicted men, who had no legal representation in court, were given the option of paying a US $7,500 fine or spending an additional 6 months in prison. The men also pleaded guilty to drug possession in relation to the seizure of 4 grams of ganja that police found while searching their home and were each fined $250 or a month in prison. Water woes in Westmoreland continue. The National Water Commission is reporting that high levels of turbidity continue to impact operations at its Bulls Road treatment plant in Westmoreland. Further, the situation is compounded by mechanical challenges at the facility. As a result, the plant continues to operate at 50% of its capacity. During this period, customers served by the facility, and especially those in elevated areas, will continue to experience either low water pressure or periods without water. Areas likely to be affected include Burnt Savannah, Grange Hill, Tollgate, Fuller's Field, Paul Island, Alma, Little London, Glasgow, Herring Peace, Brayton, Old Hope, New Hope, and Bay Road. The NWC says that normal operation will be restored as soon as the issues are resolved. More changes to be made at the Sangster International Airport to address congestion. In anticipation of the increase in passenger arrivals at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James, more changes are coming to address congestion concerns. Transport Minister Rudolph Shaw says the improvements will be spread over 3 years. Following a tour of the airport on Thursday, which is undergoing expansion, Mr. Shaw announced the short-term measures to be implemented, which include programming the kiosks to process C5 declaration forms. He said this should be fully implemented by September and will be beneficial as it will divert a significant number of passengers from submitting the manual forms at the immigration counters. He added that the Airports Authority of Jamaica will collaborate with the Passport Immigration and the Citizenship Agency as well as the Sangster International Operators, MBJ Airport Limited, to procure and install 15 additional immigration kiosks. Mr. Shaw said the 15 additional kiosks will be ordered next week and are expected to arrive in the island in December. This will increase the number at the airport to 60. Indicom seek help to identify man fatally shot by police in thwarted robbery. The Independent Commission of Investigations is seeking the public's assistance in identifying a man who was killed on Thursday when the police attempted to thwart a robbery along Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew. Indicom says the police have stated that 2 officers were traveling along the thoroughfare when they were alerted by a woman who alleged she was being robbed by a man with a knife. The officers reported that during their intervention they were attacked. In response, both officers fired their weapons in the direction of the man, hitting him. The wounded man was transported to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Indicom says that the officers involved have given initial accounts of the incident to the investigative team. They have been notified to provide statements and attend the office of the commission to be interviewed. The incident scene was processed by Indicom, and a knife and the service firearms of the concerned officers were collected. Clarendon man charged for stealing $300 and the flavored water from court. The police in Clarendon have laid the charges against a man for stealing $300 and the flavored water from the family court. O'Shane Christie, a 24-year-old of Frankfield in the parish, was charged with office break-in and larceny following an incident at the court in Chapelton on Wednesday. It's reported that about 3 o'clock in the morning, a security guard was on duty when he heard strange sounds coming from the building. He made checks and Mr. Christie was seen running from the courthouse. He was caught and the police summoned. On their arrival, $300 worth of coins and 2 bottles of flavored water were recovered. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.